Hey, hi all. So today I'll showcase you how you can enable and disable synthetic monitoring in Dynatrace with the help of Python script, okay? Python script, okay? So let's see. So here is my Dynatrace portal. You can see, right? So this is my Dynatrace portal and where I'm gonna enable and disable synthetic monitoring with the help of a script. And why is it needed? That also you need to understand, because when you are in working on Dynatrace, yeah, when you are working on observability field, right, you will get a lot of requirements. Say, hey, I don't need synthetic monitoring on the weekend time, okay? And when you have a multiple synthetic monitoring, you cannot do manually, like you need to enable manually, you need to disable lot of things, right? So that there will create a lot of problems. Sometimes you forget to enable, sometimes you forget to disable, right? So what we can do is we can write a script in such a way that, and we can schedule that script either on Windows, yeah, either on Linux, so that with the in the Linux, with the help of cron tab in Windows, we have a task scheduler. So you can schedule it according to your time, like at what time you wanted to do that, and you can enable it and you can disable it. So let's see how you can do that. So if you see this GitHub link, this GitHub link will help you to enable and disable synthetic monitoring. Okay. So you see what are things are required. So we required Python. Python has to be installed on your servers. Then it has to be install your pip. So you can install the pip, and it required some kind of flag. Okay, so you required enable flag and disable flag. So you can set a true is enable, set false as a disable. You can enable and disable with the help of tag name, yeah, with the help of a status like active and inactive. We require Dynatrace URL and we require API token. Okay, so let's see. So what we can do is first required API token. So this is my environment URL, you see, right? And then we required API token. So if you go to the access token, generate a new token, token name, I can give, you can give anything. So just I'm giving synthetic bulk enable and disable. Expiry you can set as your wish, but I don't want to set, it is optional. Template, I don't want to select any template. So I need just to take synthetic. So actually we required synthetic. So it has a API should have access to read your synthetic monitoring execution result. You should have rights to enable disable. You should have to fetch the location. Right not needed. Just I'm adding it so that we should not have a problem. So API token you can go with the document and you can see that. And on top of that, also required setting, read setting. Okay, required right setting, because if you want to do with the help of tag, so you have to go to this via setting tab. Setting tab, we have a tag space, right? So tag we have created as environment dev environment as a prod, so that with the help of you have access to take that. Okay, so sometimes right is not needed, but just I'm giving that so that you should not have like API is not able to do that. Okay, so this just a read setting is sufficient. Okay, so just I'm taking that read setting. So I can read that setting page. I'm not going to create that any configuration. I can read some of the configuration from the Dynatrace setting tab. Okay. So my token is ready. So I'll copy this token. I'll put it in my notepad. So I will go with my here, create a new tab. This is my API token. Okay. API underscore token equal to this. Now, what else needed? So we need environment URL. So this is my environment URLs. Okay. Now, so sometimes also you'll get a requirement Let's go to my synthetic page. Sometimes you'll get a requirement only to disable browser base. You understand, right? Browser base consume more license. Okay. So how the license consumption will happen is based on the DEM unit. Okay. So and how the license will consume. Okay. So suppose you have one URL. Let's take example. You have a one URL which is apple.com. Okay. And you want to generate a traffic. Okay. Suppose this is I'm doing for HTTP. Okay. So you want to generate a traffic every 5 minutes. Okay. So every 5 minutes you want to generate a traffic means in 1 hour we'll have a 12 events. 12 times you hit the URL, and in 1 hour 12. Then one application. Then and 1 hour you have a 12 transaction, 20 hours. So just to think 20 into 24 hours into 12. Okay. And you are hitting the traffic from certain location, right? So we have a public location and private location. So if you take that public location, you are running from US, you are running from UK, you are running from Switzerland, you are running from Germany, France, global locations. You are suppose you are running from 4 locations, so 4. Then that license cost. Okay, so URL, if it's the HTTP based monitoring, it's required 0.1 DEM unit per URL, right? So it is cross 0.1. Okay, so if you take that, this is for 1 day license. Then if you take into 365 days, if you multiply by 365, then this is your, and then there will be your pricing model. So 1 DEM unit cost, suppose it is consuming 0.1 DEM unit, okay? And 1 DEM unit cost is suppose 0.0001 dollar, yeah, $25, something like that. So you need to multiply by that. So it will consume more license, right? And if it is a browser base, then it is consuming 1 DEM unit. So in spite of so, we have 1:10 ratio. If one dollar cost is for HTTP, then browser is consuming $10. So just to think, and we have a 7 events. Imagine in your organization, we have a synthetic 7 events, right? Imagine in your, so when you have end-to-end transaction you want to monitor, it requires minimum 20 to 24 events. Okay. So just to think, if for $10, one event, $24, 24 events, $240. Correct? $240 you are saving based on that. Just the hypothetical value, but it will be the actual value, it could be different. Okay. This is a hypothetical. Just I'm calculating $1 into $10. Okay. So $240 you are saving per day. Per day. So just you multiply by month and multiply by 365, it will consume more. You can save a lot of license, right? So sometimes you'll get a requirement to only disable browser click path, and sometimes you'll get a requirement to disable multiples. Okay. So I wrote both the scripts, and let's see. So how you can run the script, right? So let me launch on VM. So this is my Python server. Okay. Sorry for my typo. Python server. Okay. I'm taking Imagine Linux. 2, you can take anyone. Okay. Then one virtual, one CPU is sufficient. Okay. Key pair. Selecting security group. So I'm giving 20 GB. Just need to run the script. Okay. 10 GB also sufficient. Oh, okay. So it is not allowing. Okay. So already my synthetic script is running on this server. Okay. So what I can do is, let me log into the server. Okay, so I will go to my connect and I will go to my instance EC2 instance connect. So I'm able to connect now. Okay. So if you do ls sudo space su, okay, ls cd synthetic ls. So now if you go to this, okay, this has a already a script is available. Okay, so if you go to the script py, you see already this script is available. This script is not working. Okay, you have to fix it little bit. Okay, so I already fixed my script and my script is running on this. So there's a two synthetic, right? Bulk synthetic.py. So let me open that. So first I will cat bulk underscore synthetic and I'll tell you what are the prerequisites that are needed. Okay. So what I'm doing is I'm importing that request library and importing my JSON library. This is my environment URL for Dynatrace. This is my API token that we have generated. Okay. And enable monitor false. Is if you set to false means you are going to disable it. Okay. If you set to true, you are going to enable it. Okay. Then we have a API header. So when you do that, something like curl hyphen get and then you give the URL, then you have give the API authorization, all those things, you'll get a lot of value in the JSON format. Okay. So it's the same thing. Then we have all the functions, okay, to fetch that all the request details. Then we have to fetch that monitors. So we have all the functions available here. Then we are set monitor enable. Yes, we are setting that. And you see that. Okay. So this is my Python script. I'll attach this Python script to my GitHub repo so that you can able to access it. You can able to read it, able to understand it, and then you can do the changes. Okay. So right now, my synthetic is enable state. So I'm gonna disable it. Okay. So this is for bulk synthetic. Bulk means entire, either we have a one, yeah, we have 100, everything is gonna disable it. And I am filtering based on the status. If a status is active, you see, right? A status is active. So whichever status is active, I'm gonna disable it. So let's say, okay, so all three are active. So if I'll run this script, it's automatically gonna disable it. Okay. So sorry. So this is my script, right? So if I'll go with this, okay. So, and this is gonna, if you do this, cat bulk underscore synthetic, bulk underscore toggle. If you read this, this has only a specific synthetic. Like I told you, right? You want to do only for browser base, you want to disable it. Okay. So those kind of things, things for you can do that. Okay. So enable monitor true. Okay. If I'll keep it false, it will gonna disable it. Okay. So let's see. Okay. So what I can do is let me run that. So Python 3. So what are the prerequisites are needed? Okay. So when you are running it in, you, if you know the Python, right? You, if you understand, so what are things are needed? So we required Python has to be running. So if you do the Python 3 hyphen version, it's already running. Let's see that. Paste it. So Python 3 hyphen version, you see, we have. So ensure that you should have a 3x, okay? Either 3.5, 3.7, 3.12, whatever, whichever version you wanted to have that, okay? So that can then required pip install. So you can pip3 install request. You can give the access chmod and you can give the proper permission and then you can uh, it required some like some of the URL lib library, right? It has to be upgraded. You'll get that prompt so that you can understand and you can able to upgrade with this command. And if you run this, you see, you can able to understand whether I'm able to connect or not. You see, I'm able to fetch all the synthetic, right? You see that, okay? So that was the API header that I was trying to validate, okay? So everything is working as expected, okay? So what I can do is, so Python 3 and bulk synthetic 3 py, okay? So if I do my ls vi bulk underscore synthetic dot py and enter. So it is false state. False state means it is already running. You are gonna disable it. Okay. So escape colon q exclamation mark. Okay. So okay. Python 3. Okay. Just to run it. So see, it's fetching all those things. See, all are disabled. Now, if I'll go to my Dynatrace portal and hit this, see, all are disabled. Now I'm gonna enable it. So how you can do that? So again, I'll go to my this vi bulk underscore synthetic. Enter this insert mode. You go. So instead of false, I make it true. Escape colon wq exclamation mark. Now again, I'll run the same command, same script. You see, it's gonna enable it. So let's go to the Dynatrace. Refresh it. See, it's gonna enable it. Okay. So now what you can do is you can schedule it. So where you want to schedule? You want to schedule in your task manager. Okay, we have a task manager where you can schedule it. You can schedule in Linux also with the help of cron tab. Okay, there's a command is called cron tab -e, and you can give that proper time range, all those things, and you can schedule it based on your time, like at what time and what time should it start and what time it should run. Okay, so you can have a two script. One should be enabled, one should be disabled, so that every Monday morning, like just it this should enable part run. Every Friday at 12 o'clock, disable part should run. So that you have Friday night 12 o'clock to Sunday night, yeah, Monday morning, 8 o'clock, it has to be disabled. 9 o'clock, you can schedule it for 10 minutes for to enable the script. So that those parts you can do it, and every infra guy is knowing that how you can schedule it on Windows and Linux. Everyone knowing that is a very basic thing, right? So now let's see how you can do a specific synthetic. Okay, so ls. So if you see cat bulk underscore toggle, if you see that, right, I have used synthetic test monitor ID. So where you can find the monitor ID. So if you know the Dynatrace, if you click on this, every service has a unique ID. If you click on this is my monitor ID. Okay. This is for this apple.com, that browser-based monitoring. This is my entity ID. Okay. That is which is called monitor ID. Okay. If you go to your service has your own ID, host we have own ID, process we have own ID. Each synthetic has their own ID. So this is my ID. So you can do the changes accordingly. Okay. So if you see this, so I have used browser-based monitoring. So this is my synthetic ID, and that has start with say last end with 7 BC. And if you go to my script, that also has a 7 BC. You see, right? So this is my end monitor ID. So you have to mention the monitor ID. And if you have multiple monitor ID, you can have your array and you can put it all those things and you can do that way. Okay. So just this is for one so that you can modify your script according to your requirement. Okay. So this is my script. Okay. And I'm gonna run it ls. So what I'm gonna do is, so this is gonna true. So true means it has to be enable it, right? So first it has to be disabled. Your this has to be in disable state, right? Then only you can enable it. Am I correct? So let me disable it manually so that you can understand whether a script is working or not. So let me click on this, disable it. So you see my this got disabled. So that now I'm going to enable it. So this is my Python 3 bulk underscore toggle synthetic.py. You see, it's gonna enable successfully. So if you see this, refresh it, you see it got enabled. Now again I'm gonna disable it, okay? So vi bulk underscore uh, toggle, okay? So I will set to false. Insert mode, false, colon WQ exclamation mark. So let me save it, save and exit. So if you do that cat, so I'm running the same script, right? So you, sorry, my bad. So you see, we are gonna disable it, false. Now I am going to run the script. Okay, you see, successfully disabled. So if I'll hit my refresh my URL, you see it got disabled. Okay, so this is the way you can, when you have a multiple request, right? A multiple synthetic, like either you have a get API, post API, put API, delete API, head, patch, any of the API that you have configured as a synthetic monitor and to understand that availability of this those API. Okay, then and you will you get a chance like, hey, I want to bulk enable, bulk disable, right? You'll get a those kind of requirement, because in non-business hour, right, if this goes down, the synthetic goes down, none of the person to take care of it, right? There is no sorry, there is no operation available to bring it back. In that case, if something goes down also, right, there is no one is there to take care of it. So in that case, if there and not there, doesn't make sense. So you can save a lot of license, and which can be used for different purpose. So that is the reason I got a requirement like how you can enable and disable bulk synthetic, okay, with the help of Python script, and you can schedule it. There is no any kind of requirement like you have active get should be running, yeah, something. You can schedule it. You can run in your local also. You can run it on your any of the server, any of the dummy server where you have like jump servers you have where you can go and schedule it. Okay, so just like API tokens which is needed. So ensure that your API token should have a read setting so that they can read the setting configuration, all those things. Ensure that if you modify the script like all those things, if you want to go with the filter. So I took based on the status, okay, active and inactive. Suppose you want to go with environment, like, hey, environment dev. Which one is environment dev? These two. Then we have environment prod. Then you want to go this. So based on this tag, okay, you want to do that. That also you can modify your accordingly, modify the script accordingly, and you're gonna use it. Okay, so I'll upload this script on to my GitHub repo so that you can go and you can download it. Okay, so hope is it clear. Okay, that's it for this lecture. Thank you.